Hi, I'm Pranavan.
I'm Kane.
I'm Irvin.
I'm Ivan.
And this is our Unit 8 chemical process visual presentation.
Our materials include hydrochloric acid, copper chloride, magnesium sulfate, sodium carbonate, and magnesium ribbon, and water.
Our apparatuses include 3 test tubes, safety glasses, and a scupula.
So first you get a graduated cylinder and measure 5 milliliters of hydrochloric acid and pour it into a test tube. We made sure it was no greater or no lower than 5 milliliters. Now we poured the hydrochloric acid into a test tube. And record your oven.
After pouring into the test tube, we put a piece of magnesium ribbon into the hydrochloric acid. Here you can see the effects of the magnesium ribbon in the hydrochloric acid.
We then added a second piece of magnesium ribbon to clearly see the reaction again.
We saw a bubbling reaction and then we set it aside.
After a couple of minutes, we observed the test tube to see that our prediction of a single displacement reaction had occurred between the hydrochloric acid and the magnesium ribbon, which left us with magnesium chloride and hydrogen gas. This is what the solution looks like. As you can see, it is foggy, white, and bubbling. The magnesium ribbon is reacting with the hydrochloric acid.
For reaction 2, we use magnesium sulfate and put on some for the scupula. We then poured it into a test tube and added 5 milliliters of water to it. This is where we add the water. We shook the test tube to make sure that the solid had dissolved in the water. And we shook it for a long time.
So now the magnesium sulfate has dissolved.
We then repeated the same process, this time substituting the magnesium sulfate with sodium carbonate.
Now we are adding sodium carbonate to water. Professionally, please. You can see your hand.
We then poured the magnesium sulfate solution in test tube 1 into the sodium carbonate solution in test tube 2. We noticed a double displacement reaction had occurred, leaving us with a solution of magnesium carbonate and sodium sulfate. The solution was white and opaque. This is what it looks like. Oh.
For the third reaction, we used copper chloride and water. First, we put a small amount of copper chloride into a clean dry test tube, seen here. Right now. Here we measured 5 milliliters of water. 5 milliliters of water. Pour into the test tube. We poured it in. As you can see, the solution turned blue.
Here we added a magnesium ribbon to the solution. And there's the magnesium ribbon. And then we put it in. We started shaking the test tube and it bubbled. The bubbles were green. This was a single displacement reaction. Now, after fast forwarding, we can see that the whole solution turned turquoise. Because we had to wait for the reaction to slowly dissolve, we worked hard, really hard, and wrote many notes on what we saw, and we didn't play around.
For the purpose of science.
We mildly amused ourselves for 10 minutes.
But here you can see it's fast forwarded, so you don't have to go through it.
That badly.
Here we show all three reactions along with a high polymer eraser.
As you can see on the left side, the third reaction does not have the magnesium ribbon anymore. The first reaction on the right side, you can still see the magnesium ribbon inside the solution. It is still moving, but it's not bubbling as much as it was before. The middle reaction, which is the second one, hasn't really changed as much in time. As you can see, these are all the materials we used. Yay!